Oh, welcome back to the Yanagida Podcast Show, episode 56. I got special guest Claudia of Upcountry Strong. And Claudia, what is Upcountry Strong for people listening? Upcountry Strong.
Upcountry Strong is a non-profit. We started last year, and our goal is to have nobody stay hungry up in the upcountry area.
Wow. So where did this come from? Because I see on the shirt established last year, yeah?
Yes.
And I saw all the partnerships with my friends at Pukalani Super Red and a whole bunch of places up there, the CrossFit gym. I mean, so many partnerships. And what was the motivation to start this?
Well, we all went through a really special year in 2020. Yes. And back in April, I have a dear family friend. She's in her 90s.
Oh.
She lives up at the senior center in Makawao. And as you know, everything was shut down. Families were not allowed to visit the senior homes because of the spread. So I happened to call her, and she mentioned that, crying on the phone, that they didn't get any food.
Oh.
They were afraid to go to the stores. And that's kind of how it started. And so one Pauhana night, Friday night, sitting with my boyfriend Francis Kamako Kalani on the lanai.
Shout out.
And I said, look, honey, let's do a concert. Let's spread it on Facebook. Let's see if people can come drop off food, vegetables, fruits, whatever. Maybe donate some money, and that's kind of how it started.
Wow.
We put a tent up, and the neighborhood, that's been locked up for weeks. Everybody showed up, social distancing, of course, but it's how it started. And then, I don't know, we got blessed. We got just so many people saw it, and I guess with everybody having a little bit more time than normal, and instead of concentrating on your own misery, it was more like, come on, guys, let's do something. Let's do it together. And then, as you know, Megan got involved, and it just kept on rolling and rolling.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible. I mean, it started off as like you said, concert.
It was a concert in our cul-de-sac.
Wow.
We got a few musicians. Francis is in the music world as well, my boyfriend.
Yeah.
And it was just that initial concert, and then I used to go walking every day an hour with my neighbors.
Nice.
And then we said, we could probably take this a little bit further, because it's not just the seniors. There were lots of families that were struggling, and not everybody can get food vouchers,
right,
or unemployment. A lot of our local people, they work off the table, so they cannot go for unemployment. They don't have, basically they can go anywhere. They just, because they can't prove their income.
Right.
So there's plenty people up country.
Oh my goodness.
Kula, Homelands, Hana. I mean, we did 3 trips to Hana as well.
I know, I was seeing some of the Instagram posts. And is that the main place that people can find you guys at?
We're on Instagram and we're on Facebook.
Nice.
We're working on a website, which would be great.
Yeah.
And I think really through Megan's connections.
Oh, Megan, yes.
Megan from Pukalani Super Red.
Pukalani Super Red.
Yeah, we love it.
Go back
chicken.
to watch that episode. Yeah.
So Megan just had all the connections. I mean, if it wasn't for Megan, I don't think we would have gotten all the response. Haleakala Ranch giving us meat, 1,000 pounds of meat per event.
Oh.
Everybody get 5-pound bags of meat.
Wow.
Then we had Kula Farms. All the farmers had too much produce last year because everything was shut down. I remember getting an email one night and reading 200 pounds of sweet purple potatoes. And then the next day I was reading, and it was 20,000 pounds.
Oh my, 20,000. I literally have goosebumps, man. Like my hairs are going up. Holy cow, 20,000
Yeah.
pounds.
So as you can hear from my accent, right? I'm from Switzerland.
Oh, Switzerland. I was going to say, it's a beautiful accent.
And 20,000 pounds in my head was, okay, that's one truckload. Yeah, we can put them on the trailer and just bring it to whoever. Well, of course, it's not just a trailer full, it's 20,000 pounds. So I called Megan, I said, oh my God, I already said yes.
Oh.
And she's like, that's a lot of food, honey. So,
wow.
So what Megan did, she had a great idea. She shut down the parking lot at Pukalani Superette, and they did a radio ad, and everybody could come up and get a 5-pound bag for free.
I remember hearing that.
Yeah.
This was
that was
my
back
time.
in November or something.
Right before, right around Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And then we took another, like, I think 300 or 400 pounds and drove it down to Highly Miley Church, Grace Church.
So for people listening, what does 20,000 pounds of sweet potato look like?
It was...
I can't imagine.
It was a lot.
20,000. So, like, if you imagine like a truck, how many, like, is that like a truckload or?
It was the big food trucks, like
big
two
one.
of them. And they came in these plastic containers, these big plastic containers where you can fit like 4 people in, right?
Yeah.
And they were filled. So
a farmer had that much? 20,000 pounds.
yes, everything was shut down, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So better to give it.
See, that's the best
community.
part. Yeah, that's such a beautiful thing to share, like our community. You know, Maui, Upcountry, and holy moly, that's incredible.
I don't know, the Common Grounds nonprofit in Haiku.
I heard about them, yeah.
So they've collected, since they started, over 40,000 pounds of vegetables and fruits that would have gone to waste.
Wow.
Well, she has volunteers. They go pick up food, they clean up their yards, and they donate it.
That's incredible.
Because you can't just live off non-perishable food. You gotta have your nutrition, yeah.
Yes.
So our boxes, since March, we are now partnered up with the Maui Food Bank, so we get the non-perishable foods from them.
Oh, from the Maui Food Bank. Oh, right across the
yes,
right over
from
here.
the Maui Food Bank, but we try to get vegetables and fruits as well.
Wow.
So we get Common Grounds, we get farmers that are still donating. Wow. I mean, it's just been incredible.
That is incredible.
How much help and love we've been getting.
Oh my goodness! Like because I talked to Megan about you guys, Upcountry Strong, and
yeah.
I had no idea it was that much food. I know she said it was a lot of food, but I didn't know what a lot was.
I want to say it's about 60 pounds of food per box.
Per box.
Yeah.
Oh, 60 pounds of food.
Yeah.
Oh wow, it's a lot of food. Thinking about that.
Now we're blessed that we're getting the big boxes from Maui Food Bank, but before we were running around the neighborhood and putting on Facebook, we need bags. My garage was packed with bags and donated food, and we were calling friends and family to get help with money.
Yeah.
Because every food drive is about 20 grand.
Huh.
When you take everything together, the value of the food, the value of the volunteer hours, the value of getting it delivered, packing it up. So since we have the Maui Food Bank as a partner now, it's taken a lot of stress off of us.
Wow.
Because it's a big commitment, yeah, money-wise, people-wise.
Absolutely.
We didn't think it was going to get this big, but here we are.
That's incredible. And I really believe it's because it comes from your heart.
Yeah.
And that story about your friend 90 years old, and it just comes from such a authentic and real place.
Yeah.
Wow. And so how has it evolved over the last year or so? Because what are we now? Almost August of this year. How has it evolved, changed from last year?
Well, like I said, when we started, we were just basically a neighborhood group. Mm-hmm. And in this, I want to say in November, we applied for a nonprofit status, which we got through in 6 weeks' time, which is amazing.
Fast, yeah.
Because we have a lot of really nice people that are professionals that are helping out. Wow. Once we got the nonprofit status, we were able to go out and really go to other nonprofits and ask for financial help. And Auntie Kamiki put us together with the Maui Food Bank and said, you guys should go and talk to them. As well as Megan encouraged us. we didn't think that we would be able to get that partnership, but and I remember breaking down and crying at the Maui
my
Food Bank
gosh.
meeting. I mean, still today, it's been very emotional for a lot of us.
Wow.
It's emotional to see people from your neighborhood come and pick up the boxes,
Yeah.
and they're suffering.
Wow.
And really, our goal is to get a location upcountry,
A location
to have a real food pantry that we can keep stocked. Because right now we're operating about 5 to 6 weeks out. We have an event every 5-6 weeks,
I see.
but that's not enough. It's not going to sustain the people that really need help.
That need help. Yeah.
And it'd be nice to just walk in there like a store, grab what you need, grab what you need for your neighbor that cannot drive anymore. Because we try to, people can call us and we can go down and to food bank and grab food and buy whatever else they need. But it's a lot of work, and we all have full-time jobs.
Right.
So having a pantry would be really shout out to the community.
Hey.
And putting it out there.
Put it out there. Yeah.
That would
Wow.
That would be
What
it.
would your ideal look like? So people listening, what would that look like? Is it like a warehouse? Is it a building? Is it a what do you foresee? Like what would be like? What do you feel like would be best?
I'm thinking a warehouse.
Okay. Yeah.
A warehouse would be great. We have enough volunteers that we could staff it at least four times a week.
Wow. Wow.
Even if
How many
we
volunteers are there?
I want to say we have at least 30, but there is
Wow.
more people wanting to come and help.
Oh.
But because we're still in the pandemic,
Yeah.
we're trying to keep the group as little as possible,
Oh my goodness.
so we
30
don't,
people.
we don't
Yeah.
spread anything.
Right.
We're very organized, our events. People sign up online on Facebook. They get a number and an hour assigned when they can come.
Oh.
So we
right
have
now,
about 50 people per hour that come and pick up.
wow. And where are they picking up from for people listening? Maybe for the first time?
We've been very blessed to get the Oski Rice Arena. They have committed to us that we can have it on our selected dates. So it's very organized. People drive in, they open their trunk, we put the food in.
Wow. It's very simple. You just go,
Simple,
pick
yeah.
up, and...
Yeah,
Oh.
very simple. And now we have groups that come and pick up, like for Kula we had a group of 20.
Huh.
So they came down and picked up for everybody up in Kula,
Up in Kula.
homelands. Yeah.
Wow. What a beautiful thing in such a crazy time that came out of this. I mean, because I've never heard of anything happening like this in Upcountry up until you guys. Because, we always had my food bank, and, growing up, we relied on food bank too. But it's just so beautiful to hear that about Upcountry.
I really think that everything's always been concentrated to central Maui,
Yeah.
and Upcountry's kind of been left behind, but we got to do something Upcountry. We really do. We have a lot of elderly people living up there. We have a lot of people that don't drive.
That's true.
Coming down to Wailuku, it takes time and it takes money for gas, and it's just we need it Upcountry. And I remember driving to Hana the first time during the lockdown, just with non-perishable food, because they get plenty vegetables and fruits in Hana.
Yeah.
What they needed was toilet paper. They needed canned goods. So we had a truckload, a trailer full of food that we drove down there. And that's what they need. So every area has different needs, yeah.
Right. Different needs, different things that they gotta have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Like, this is incredible, Claudia, because before this, before the pandemic, what were you doing before the pandemic? So before Upcountry Strong and all of this?
Well, I've been working on my own for the last 12 years. I opened up a real estate company.
Oh.
And I do a lot of property management as well.
Oh.
So, when the pandemic hit, my first instinct was, boy, people are not going to get paid. They're not going to be able to pay their rents.
Oh my gosh.
So I got really strongly involved in learning what can we do to help the tenants and the landlords. My obligation is to the landlord, but I also wanted to help the tenants. So already in March, I called all my landlords. I said, "What are we going to do?" Because nobody wants to evict anybody.
Right.
So most of my landlords were like, you know what, just reduce the rent. Just for this first month, let's reduce the rent. Let's all work together. It's always about working together, helping each other.
Wow.
And then when the rental assistance became available, I made sure all my tenants that needed it got help, that got the assistance to apply. Yeah, things like that. Because I had a little bit more time. Yeah, we were stuck at home and did a little bit of education for other agents. We try on our Facebook page to also inform people of what's going on. Like now, with the eviction moratorium ending August 6th.
Oh, that's next week already.
That's next week.
Friday.
Yeah.
Something like that. Wow.
So actually...
So what does that mean again?
Actually, what it means is that the landlords are now allowed to evict the tenants that haven't paid rent. But there is a new rule that just came in to placed by the government. And what it means is, let's say you are behind with your rent. If you're behind for more than 4 months, then the landlord can actually go and start eviction process. But if you're only behind 3 months, they have to go to mediation. The landlord and the tenant. They got to make an appointment, go to mediation, and try to figure out a better way.
Wow.
So I've posted it on Upcountry Facebook page, what the rules are.
Yeah.
And hopefully people can try to catch up a little bit so they don't get evicted.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that the government has done anything to take a mass of people that made lose their rentals. I mean, have you driven down to Kanaha?
Kanaha side is crazy now.
Just drive down there and all you can do is cry. I mean, it's unbelievable how many people are suffering.
Oh my gosh.
And the county had how many months time to maybe put up a shelter, put something up for people to stay. I'm thinking about families with kids and where they're gonna go to the beach. It's not safe.
Oh my goodness.
I don't want to cry here, but it's very depressing.
Yeah, that's just what a crazy year and a half. Actually, year and a half already.
It's a year and a half.
Yeah, from the initial lockdown in March to, I remember, so many neighbors only being able to, especially the elderly and with things going on, vaccine, not vaccine, and all this stuff happening. And it's just so crazy because we lost a couple of family members during the last year. My other half's mother, and then also her mother and grandmother passed away.
I'm sorry.
And it was just really crazy because they were restricting it to only like one person or something.
Yeah.
So we couldn't really see the grandmother when she was, at that point. And same with the mother. And, everyone's just doing their best. But I can't imagine what other people must be going through, especially like you're saying with kids at Kanaha. Gosh.
I mean, it's bad out there, You have people that might be in a rental right now. They still haven't gotten back to their jobs. Then you get rentals that are now double the price than they were before the
double
pandemic.
The price? Whoa.
Well, if you put a search in for Upcountry for a rental, a 500 square foot cottage is now $2,300.
A 500 square foot cottage.
So because we get this mass of people moving here that can afford that. You know, they're used to the prices in San Francisco or New York City or LA. So they come here, and to them, $2,200, that's okay.
Wow.
But for us, you know, 2 years ago, that was a $1,600, $1,500 rental.
That's right.
So now it's $700-800 more. And you haven't worked, or you're only working 75% or 50%. How are you gonna qualify for that?
Yeah.
So it's not just that some people don't have the jobs back or the pandemic. It's just, if you lose your apartment, you're not going to find something similar in the same price range. It's not going to happen.
Oh my
So
goodness.
everything is a bit frustrating.
Wow. That's crazy that a cottage is that much upcountry. I mean, what kind of job do you have just to pay $2,000 whatever dollar, $2,200, $2,500 rent?
If you're renting a $2,000 cottage, you got to make $6,000 a month, because you rent
$6,000 a month.
Well, your rent, like your mortgage, shouldn't be more than a third of your income.
Oh my goodness.
So then when you get qualified, people, lender or managers look at your income, and then they look at your other obligations, which is your credit cards, your car payments. Usually that's another $500-600. So now you already have to make $7,500 to qualify for a $2,000 cottage.
Oh.
So it's just an endless uphill battle that is not getting resolved.
Wow. Oh, this is what a crazy time.
So, you know, Upcountry Strong, besides the food, we're also thinking, what can we do to get involved with that aspect? You know, what can we do to help our local people that live here, that work here? Because soon you're not going to have anybody left. You're not going to have cleaners left. You're not going to have landscapers left, because who can pay $2,000 for a little cottage?
I know, that's crazy. And the crazy thing is too, the home prices shot up too in the last
$1,075,000 median home price.
$1,075,000
Yep.
is the median home price. Okay, I think that's crazy.
It's insane.
Like,
you know, if somebody, I don't know, I'm a realtor, but if somebody wants to buy here and actually live here, okay, right?
Right.
But if you're just buying here to invest and then jack the rents up, I don't think that's fair. And I think that's what makes people upset about this market right now.
Yeah. Wow. Especially, there's people that just want to like flip things or, oh my goodness.
You're going to come and live here and be part of the community, you know, welcome. Be part of it, help out, do the right thing, but you're just coming to make money. I don't know. Might be losing some clients right now, but that's my opinion.
I love it, Claudia. You just say what you mean and mean what you say. I love it. I love it.
We're all in it together. It's a small island. We don't have much resources. Upcountry is on water restrictions. Where's the water going?
Oh, yeah, the whole water thing.
Yeah, where's it going?
What is happening with that? Like today, like to this day, because I heard about it a few weeks ago on the news. And is it still restricted for you folks up there?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So you guys can't water your yard?
We're supposed to cut back by, I believe it said 10%.
September?
No, we're supposed to cut back our water usage by 10%.
Oh.
And it was also said that if they catch you like washing your car, you could get up to $500 fine.
That's crazy.
So,
washing your car.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have irrigation. I live in Makawa. I don't need irrigation. And if it's hot, and my grass turns brown, and that's the way it is. Come winter, it's all gonna get green again and pretty.
Yeah.
But I don't like to be restricted.
Oh,
you know?
My goodness. Wow.
I don't know, how is it over here? You guys don't have the restrictions, right?
Here, no, not in Central.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just so crazy because, like, you hear all of these numbers of tourism just officially beat 2019 numbers of people coming in.
I know.
And that's crazy because 2019 was the all-time high, and we're already higher than that.
I mean, what do we get a day? Over 60,000 people flying in, or
Yeah, I
is
think
that?
it was something like that. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a new record just last week.
So we don't have the cars.
No cars.
We don't have the food resources either,
That's right.
and
Water.
water.
Oh.
And then you get the hotels are packed, right? The hotels are packed, and all the vacation rentals are booked.
They're booked, yeah.
But the hotels didn't call everybody back to come work. The people that are working double shifts.
Oh.
They're working for 2 people.
Oh.
So don't want to get all political, but I'd like somebody to explain that to me, because they say they're going to bring the money back to the island.
Where's it going?
Where's it going? I mean, those big corporations are not situated in Maui, right?
No, they're not.
They're mainland companies.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man.
anywho,
Oh, this is crazy.
it's a whole circle of, we just need to start to work together and
Yeah.
ask questions and try to make the right change.
Yeah. So like Claudia, imagine like if there was a magic wand right here and I said, Claudia, you're the mayor of Maui County.
Ooh.
What would be like some stuff like that you would try to, what would be like the first thing you would do? Like, poof, magic wand.
Magic wand. I think I would like to limit the amount of people coming here. Assure that everybody that is here is taken care of. Right?
That's important.
Medical wise, the hospital is small. I hear that they're pretty packed already.
Wow.
So I don't live on fear, but I'd like to know that if something does happen, that we have a space to go. I'd like to have enough water for everybody and not restrict certain portions of the island with how much water they can use.
Yeah.
And I'd like to assure that we have enough food for everybody. Because I hear that some stores, like over Lahaina side or Kihei side, some aisles are pretty empty.
Wow.
And I don't know if you heard, but on the mainland they're already talking about food shortages. California has a drought, yeah.
That's right.
So a lot of the, believe a lot of the vegetables and fruits are coming from there. And they're already missing out, yeah. Their harvest is going to be very, very little. It's not going to cover
Drought.
everybody. So it's just so many things
So
besides
many things, yeah.
building materials being triple the price.
That's
Rental
right.
cars are $1,000 a week or $2,000
It's
a
nuts.
week.
Yeah.
They're renting U-Hauls for tourists because there's no rental cars. I mean, can we just, I really think we should just concentrate of, this is what we need, this is how to do it right, and then slowly introduce the rest back into it, but controlled.
Wow.
I think that would be great.
That would be that would be great. I mean,
Yeah.
just that covers all the bases. You're talking about the community, the water, the food, and people, people here being taken care of. And wow.
I'm not sure how many non-profits got started last year just in the state of Hawaii, but I think it's a lot. A lot of people that really kind of had a little bit of a wake-up call. And, seeing your neighbor suffer, or your auntie or your grandma, and that kind of wakes you up.
Yeah.
Because it's not all about working and making money. A lot of us are blessed that we could work during the pandemic. I was blessed and made a little bit less, but it was enough. And I wasn't going anywhere, so I wasn't spending money on traveling or going out for dinner. As a matter of fact, I started baking again and, doing things like that, going back to the old style.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So, yeah, I think there's a lot of good people out there, and if we can all get together as a community, we should be able to make some changes.
Yeah, I believe that too. And You know, Claudia, we actually have we're having a community walk here next week, Saturday, August 7th, at 7 a.m. And we're gonna have Megan from Pukalani. We're gonna have some gyms and all their, other places. A lot of people are gonna come here, and it ties in. The reason why we wanted to have you come on is it's just very heart centric. It's from your heart.
Yes.
And us too. Like, we want to do things from the heart and gather people together and show them that we still have a community. We're gonna be we're gonna be safe. We're gonna be all outdoors. No one's gonna be like holding hands or anything like that. No, nothing crazy, but just walking in unity.
Yeah.
And that's it's just incredible. It's just incredible, Claudia. And I just want to ask, like, this is really cool because you said you came, was it 12 years ago?
No, I moved here 2002.
Oh,
right after 9/11.
Almost 20 years.
Right after 9/11, I moved here.
From Switzerland?
From New York.
Oh, New York.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was Switzerland, New York. I lived basically all over the world.
That is awesome. So for
Yeah.
people listening and maybe they're hearing about you, they're meeting you on video.
Hey.
So yeah, they're like, oh, Claudia. I mean, so that's awesome. So Switzerland, and then you went to New York after that, or somewhere between?
No, yeah, I grew up in Switzerland.
Uh-huh.
My dad was Swiss, and my mom is Italian. So going to Italy every vacation possible. That's how I grew my love for the ocean.
Oh, shoot.
And Switzerland don't have ocean. It's beautiful. It's got mountains and all of that, but I'm an ocean person. I love the salt.
Wow.
And but I traveled early on. I went to England to learn English. I lived in Paris to finish my French. I lived in Milan. I lived in Brazil. Brazil is a beautiful country.
That's
amazing.
What part of Brazil?
Everywhere.
Wow.
I hiked through all of Brazil. I was in every part of Brazil. It's just beautiful, and the people are beautiful, and they're very united, the Brazilians. Very corrupt political system over there, but the people stick together, and they make something out of very little.
Wow.
Which was impressive because I'm in Switzerland, people do well. The government takes care of them. And you have your 5 weeks vacation and get your medical and whatnot. And here it feels like we're all fighting for the things that should be automatic.
Oh, here in Maui?
Here, in the States in general.
States.
I mean, you start a job and you get 5 days vacation?
Right, yeah.
After the first, that's insane.
Yeah.
Your grandparents probably, when they were in the working world, they got their 4 weeks paid vacation.
Right.
When did you lose that? Who took that away from you? Who said you have to work 7 days a week? Who makes these rules? It's insane.
Yeah.
I'm not a politician, but I'm just looking at humanity and life, quality of life. And the constant need of having to work, and you totally forget who you are. You forget your family because you're in that race of making the money to pay. Like this year alone, the inflation is 5.5%.
5.5%.
Yeah, so everything you buy is at least 5% more expensive than it was last year.
Oh, wow.
But if you're making minimum wage, and now you're paying 5% more, so you just took a pay cut.
Yeah.
So what the heck? How is it possible that people still working for $10 an hour?
Wow.
On an island where you have to pay so much money to bring food in, and I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
Why hasn't that changed? Why is there no change coming?
Oh my goodness.
What's the goal? Are we eliminating the middle class, or we just have poor and rich?
Oh my gosh.
I could go on for hours. It's just when you travel the world and you see different systems, and then you see this, and it's just like, why are the people not revolting?
Wow.
Why are we taking it? I'm in it as well. I work 7 days a week.
Wow.
I have phone calls coming in at 11 o'clock at night. I take them because it's expected here.
Oh, wow.
If I did the same job that I'm doing here in Switzerland, Friday 5 p.m. Pow, I'm back on Monday.
Wow.
Normal.
So you're taking calls 7 days a week.
Yeah. You have to, because I get property management, I get clients buying, selling, and I have vacation rentals.
Huh.
Legal permitted vacation rentals.
Oh, there we go.
Sometimes people come in and they forget the code, how they get into the rental.
Oh, right.
Well, you got to be available, right? It's
Right.
24/7 service, like a hotel.
Oh my.
So,
Oh. Wow.
yeah.
It, wow. What a situation. And it's amazing because you've seen so many different countries.
Yeah.
And you said you really like the Swiss, the 5 weeks vacation you were saying? That's incredible.
It's automatic.
Oh.
And the older you get, the more you get.
Wow.
By the time you reach 50, I think it's 4 weeks until you're about 50, and then it goes to 5 weeks, and then by 60 you get 6 weeks paid vacation. You get your holidays paid.
Oh my.
And nobody's suffering because you actually have a life,
Right.
right?
Right. Oh,
I
Switzerland.
mean, I just don't understand how is it that they expect people to work for $10 an hour and not get a vacation and sustain on that money.
You can't.
$10 an hour, that comes out to $400 a week. So you need 3 jobs.
Right, because then you pay tax on that.
And then you just paid your rental, right? With 3 jobs, you make $1,200. Then you just pay for a room at this point. You get a room. Woohoo! You get a room.
Holy moly.
Yeah. So, please, county, do something. Help the people.
Mayor Victorino, shout out.
Yeah, don't ask the airlines to cut down. You need to cut it down,
Yeah. Holy cow.
right?
Yeah.
60,000 people.
That's a lot of people coming in.
You driven to Lahaina lately?
I went, yeah.
Try
Front Street?
go around 11 o'clock. Whoo!
Ooh.
It's like New York. You're not moving. It's just
Stuck
not
traffic.
moving. The line out is fine. Line in after all the planes land.
Yeah.
It's
Gosh, I can't
crazy.
imagine how the Lahaina locals feel.
yeah.
You know, the locals living in Lahaina and Ka'anapali, like that whole side, like West Maui. I just can't imagine. They just feel stuck, can't get in.
Can't get in, can't get out. You got to figure out what time you're actually
Oh,
going
man.
back and forth. Same with Hana.
Hana
I mean,
too.
Hana is
Yeah.
they
That's what
went
I've
from
heard.
complete shutdown to Disneyland.
Right.
It's absolute insane how many people go in there,
Crazy.
and the trash that's left behind, and the traffic, and the resources that are needed to help or serve the tourists, and the fear. I mean, there's no hospital over there.
The fear,
You
the fear
get
of like
sick
no
where
hospital.
you go. You've got to drive over here
Oh,
or get flown over here. Hopefully, there's a helicopter that's not rescuing tourists jumping off cliffs.
right.
They shouldn't. I mean, you know what? I'm not saying I'm against the whole tourist thing, but it should be limited. There should be a number on it,
Like a cap.
like a cap.
Yeah.
And there should be more education for the tourists that come here. Educate them on, safe behavior, on not touching the turtles, on not ripping off the reef because you want to take a piece of reef home or coral, or we're missing so many things that could make things smoother between everybody if the education was there, which should be done on the airplane because
Right.
everybody's sitting down.
You gotta sit down for
Here's
hours.
a 5-minute little information about, what to do, what not to do. I hope you have a great stay, but please, kokua.
Yeah.
So many things, so many missed
things.
opportunities.
Yeah. And it's really interesting how this COVID just kind of like revealed everything to us. Because it was, even in 2018-19, it was like building, because that was a new high. And once the floodgates opened of COVID, like, hey, people can come, it's just boom.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is just the mainland, yeah.
There's no international yet.
We don't have international.
No,
Canada's still shut down.
Yeah.
So now imagine how it's going to be. Canada, I think, is opening up, I want to say next month.
Oh. Wow.
And just from my side of what we have as vacation rentals, we are booked. We're booked all the way through March.
Wow.
No openings. And I know many of my colleagues that are in that business as well. Everybody's booked.
Oh.
Which is great because, so many owners, 8 months, 9 months of nothing but paying HOA fees and property tax and
bills,
mortgages.
Yeah.
It's great that they can make their money back.
Yeah.
But boy.
Holy smokes.
What's going to happen when everything opens up international?
Yeah, because we're not even fully open yet.
Nope.
No. Yeah, what is going to happen? Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
Because we're just about August. Few more months until the end of the year, and internationals open up. Canada, even like some of the Asian countries aren't open yet either.
Yes.
So there's that. There's Canada. Oh. Goodness. Europe's not open. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that's gotta be really. Oh man, what a situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have many friends that own restaurants here, and they're overwhelmed.
Restaurants, yeah.
They're overwhelmed. Their workers are overwhelmed. With the way the sitting areas are, right? So the waiters go to work, but they don't make the money they used to make. But they're working double because now they got to do takeout, and a lot of the tourists, they don't like to tip on a takeout because they're not being served.
Right.
Right. So it's like they come to work. No matter if they're serving you at the table or they're giving you the takeout, take care of the waiters because they're the ones that show up.
Right.
So you can get your takeout order.
Oh. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like what you're saying. The people that did go back to work, that are back to work, everyone's overwhelmed.
Doing double, triple the work.
Yeah. Doing the work of 2 people, 3 people, and. Oh man!
But not making more money.
Not making more money.
No,
that's the crazy.
Same
part.
amount like before, but working 3 jobs.
Oh.
So something's got to give.
Yeah.
We can't go on like that.
Mm-hmm. And this is why, Claudia, I think it's just amazing that people like you and other people who start nonprofits, doing community outreaches, stuff like that is just incredible. Like we're wrapping up our school supply drive. So we did this month, we were raising a bunch of school supplies that we're going to give to kids, and parents have been telling our team like, hey, we need slippers, we need this, we need that, we need more of this. I'm like, whoa.
Have you heard of Wishing Well?
I have, Wishing Well.
Yeah, so Sarah Sørensen started that 20 years ago.
Right.
That's it's backed by the Real Estate Association, but that's what she's been doing a long time. Wow. And when I got involved with that, I didn't know that slippers were a thing. I didn't know. Mm-hmm. I thought, we're talking school supplies, but no, slippers is a thing.
Slippers, yeah.
So just next time you go along, buy whatever small sizes you see and drop them off here with you.
Yeah, drop it off until the end of the month. Yeah. Yeah, it's just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, what's a pair of slippers? $3?
Yeah. Yeah.
And some kids don't have slippers.
It's crazy.
And they're not allowed to go to school without the slippers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. What a situation. This is, what a great, just eye-opening, just, kept it real. This is a great conversation, Claudia. I mean, just to share like the reality of what's happening on the island, and also the origin why you started. And it's really interesting because I heard you say a lot about like I'm not a fear kind of person, and where did that come from? Because that's really rare, especially during the pandemic, when you were saying I'm not really a fear type. Like, that's incredible. It's like a faith thing, or where did that come from?
A few years ago, my son, I don't like heights.
Uh-huh.
Basically, I'm scared of heights.
Yeah.
So he bought me a ticket to go on a helicopter tour.
Oh.
And I was like, Tim, I really, really don't like it. But it was expensive, so we went.
Uh-huh.
And he said, Mom, every year on your birthday, you should do something that you're really scared of. Just do it. And once you've done it, you're going to feel so relieved that you went past your fear.
Aw.
Right?
That's so true.
And fear just stops you from doing something good or fun. And the pandemic is scary.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. The first 2 weeks I was like, oh my God. And my mom was here. She was supposed to fly home to Switzerland. I was gonna bring her home. It was March 20th. We were gonna fly home. I was gonna bring Mom home. She's 84 years old.
Oh wow.
And I was watching the news in Italy and Switzerland. And remember, Italy, the carnival in Venice was shut down. That's the biggest. Like our high season is the biggest money coming from tourists.
Yes.
The carnival in Venice that's when they make their money. For them to shut that down, I knew it's gonna be serious. We are not talking about the flu. We're talking about something that's way bigger than we can even imagine.
Yeah.
And when they shut Italy down and all these old people were dying, I was scared. I was scared for my mom. I turned into my mom how she was when I was little. Wow. I was not letting my mom out. I was not letting her go to the store. I was fighting with my mom. I said, no, you stay home. I go. Yeah. I'm younger than you. Right. I'm fine. And, then came the phone call to Grandma Jane up at the senior center. And I was like, okay, the old people are being completely forgotten. They're not being taken care of. We can't be doing that because they're our storytellers. They're the ones that teach us things that we don't know because we're sitting on the computer. And kind of that's how it started, really.
Wow.
We gotta help our kupuna, we gotta help our less fortunate. And fear is just gonna stop you. And we could wear gloves, we could wear masks.
Right.
And we could keep social distance, and that's all you have to do.
Wow.
Shouldn't stop you from helping somebody that needs it.
Exactly. And that's why, I just knew when you were going to come, I was like, oh, Claudia, because I never really knew who was behind Upcountry Strong. Because I'd always hear about it from my friends upcountry. Yeah. And I was like, who is behind? And then when they tagged me, I was like, oh, we're going to meet. And then when we heard your accent, I was like, this is beautiful. I love it. No, honestly, because my parents too, they're from Japan. They have a thick accent, and it's just beautiful. And that your son is the one that's telling you, hey, Mom, you gotta do something scary every year and overcome it. And so where did your son get that? Is that from you, Grandma, to like, hey, do things that scare you?
Well, my mom is a firecracker. She's 4'5" and 80 pounds. She is a firecracker.
Firecracker, I love that description.
And to this day, she's a firecracker.
Wow.
She still dances, she drink, and she smokes her cigarettes.
Damn.
Like every Italian does. A lot of them.
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean.
So how many languages can you speak?
7.
Huh? You can speak 7 languages?
Yes.
That is beautiful.
Grazie, hello, bonjour, bon dia, buenos dias. Guten Morgen. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I cannot learn Japanese. I tried.
This is incredible.
I tried.
So what languages was that? What did you just pronounce?
Well, I grew up speaking Swiss, German, and Italian.
Swiss, German, and Italian growing up? Yo! Trilingual. Oh my goodness. And then
in school, and if you grow up in the Swiss part of in the German part of Switzerland, you have to learn French.
Because
we have 4 languages.
4 languages.
In the country alone. That little country has 4 languages.
4 languages.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And we have one language that's dying out. It's almost it's a mix of German, Italian, and Latin. And it's basically spoken by the mountain people. And there's one TV show a week in that language.
Wow.
It's very sad because it's a beautiful language, and kind of it's dying off.
Wow. What is the language called?
Retro-Romanic.
Wow.
Yeah. Retro-Romanic.
Retro-Romanic.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's 4 languages and then English 5.
I don't speak Retro-Romanic. I speak
okay,
French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, English, and High German.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is High German?
High German is the official German language. Germany and Switzerland are not the same, right? So the Germans speak German differently than the Swiss. Switzerland is all dialect.
Wow.
And when you go to school, you have to. The books are all written in High German.
This is beautiful. Because I had no idea. It's just like, are the languages kind of similar or?
Well, they're all based from the Latin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, it was easy to learn my languages because I love to talk. You can tell, right?
Yeah.
I love to talk and I love to meet people and I always love to travel.
Wow.
But I try to learn Japanese and there's no similarities.
Right, it's different.
But Filipino, there's get a lot of words that is as well based from Spanish, right?
Spain, yeah. King
so
Philips.
I can kind of understand some of it.
Yes.
Not a lot, but a lot of the words have the background coming from the Latin language.
Ah.
But I really wanted to learn Japanese. I would love to go to Japan. But I refuse to go to a country if I cannot speak at least enough to get by. So
maybe we'll
keep
speak
learning.
Japanese. Yeah, we can say like, Claudia, like, okay, 今日は全部日本語でjust speak to you fully in Japanese.
ありがとう。ありがとう。
Yeah. Oh, I'm so envious. 7 languages, Claudia. I've never met anybody that can speak that many languages.
But Europe is so small. I mean, in Switzerland you drive, from where I grew up, you drive 3.5 hours and you're in a different country. You could either be in Paris, or you could be in Milan, or you could be in Austria, or you could be in Germany.
Wow.
So you better know how to get around.
Right.
Like the French, they don't like to speak anything else but French.
Okay.
That's
French
just how it is.
Yeah.
And Italians, if you're in northern Italy, yeah, some of them speak a little English, but you know how we talk with our hands.
Yeah.
To learn that in another language is really hard.
Oh.
So, and Francis, my boyfriend, and we went to Italy. I took him to my hometown, my mom's hometown, and it was hard for him because hardly anybody speaks English over there.
Wow.
The first year I was just translating 24/7.
Wow.
Now we found a few people that speak a few words in English and it's getting a bit easier. But yeah, southern Italy, farmers, fishermen.
Yeah.
That's where my mom is from. It's a small town.
Wow.
No private schools.
No private schools?
No.
It's all just public?
Southern Italy is probably one of the poorer parts of Italy.
Wow.
Like if you're paying $5 for a cappuccino in Florence, that same coffee will cost you $1.50 in the southern part of Italy. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Just like here, you come to Maui, you pay $5 at Starbucks. You go to Missouri, it's probably $2.50.
Right. Same thing as in half or less. Yeah.
So
that's incredible. This is why I just think traveling is so amazing. And I just honestly, I learned so much today just from your experiences. I feel like, wow. And I hope you guys learned a bunch too. I had no idea. And that's the beautiful thing, is just to keep learning and sharing with each other. And like what you're sharing, the kapuna and the older, all of our seniors, have all the stories to tell us.
I love hanging out with older people.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it's on Maui or in Italy or in Brazil.
Yeah.
The older people have the stories.
Yes, right.
That's what's going to give you the idea of how it was and how it should be. See, my mom was stuck with me for 6 months instead of just 3.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And I had forgotten how in Switzerland trash is handled. like, we're using Ziploc bags over here, yeah? Ziploc for everything.
Yeah.
My mom was washing them. After we use them, she go wash them and hang them up. She said, you cannot keep throwing these away. You reuse them till you can't use them anymore. And she was telling me when she was a child, when the newspapers came out and they go buy produce, you roll it in your newspaper. They didn't have bags. When you look at our landfills, it's packed with plastic.
Yeah.
Look at our oceans. So if we could all go back to, just think about what we're doing and how we're using it and can we reuse it and what is it going to do if we just throw it in the trash, in that big trash can?
Yeah. Like what's just going? Yeah.
It's just all these things that we've forgotten or we're never taught.
Right. Holy cow. No.
I don't know. How is it in Japan? I mean, I'm sure you guys don't have these 50-gallon trash cans out there.
So just like in Japan, my father's side, they're from the mountainside.
Yeah.
Really, there was nothing. And we lived there for a little bit, and all they had was one grocery store in the whole city, and there was no internet, no, it was very like a mountain-like life. They have their farm, they get food from the farm, and there were some fishermen that would go to the ocean, and it was like, wow. I remember as a kid, I was like, oh my god, this is incredible, like being able to just see this and then literally pull the food from the farm and eat that, and it was so good. Even like the trash and stuff like that. I remember my parents, they would always save the brown bags we get from the store, and we would use that to do everything, cover our school textbook, to pick up other stuff or to give to other people bags, food. And it's just incredible. Like, I think all parts of the world, they had their way to be resourceful. Even if they had little, they made it last a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just think that's like what you're saying. If we can learn something from people of the previous generations of making things last a long time, I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Honestly,
my mom got a little bit mad about it. She's like, you guys are so wasteful. So wasteful. And when she saw the trash can, she's like, well, what are you putting in here? I said, Mom, trash. She said, how much trash do you have? Twice a week. Because in Switzerland, you buy this little trash bag, and it's $8 or $9. That's where your trash goes.
Wow.
Then your newspaper goes in a different place. Your glass bottles goes in a different place. Your cans go in a different place.
Wow.
So that bag, my mom makes sure that bag lasts her at least 2 weeks.
Wow.
That little bag.
That little bag, yeah.
So, and here it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Crazy, yeah?
Holy moly. Yeah, it's just incredible. Just like how organized it sounds like in Swiss. Huh.
We could do the same thing.
We definitely can.
Our challenge is, where does it go once it's collected? Where is it really going? Right? Who's taking our trash? Who's taking our plastic bottles?
That's a good point.
So something really cool the other day, houses built out of plastic.
Oh.
Melting the plastic into bricks. Like brick bricks.
Yeah.
Building houses.
Wow.
Started in Mexico. How cool would that be if we had a factory that could take the plastic bottles, make them into bricks, build a house, or build affordable housing or shelter. Then we don't have to spend money to take it out from here. We keep it here, build it, do the right thing.
Oh my god.
And you know what? It doesn't disintegrate.
Yeah.
And the termites don't like it.
No, they don't like. Oh, that's a good point.
Freaking awesome.
See, that's gonna
so
be
much stuff out there.
I love this, Claudia.
Between Upcountry Strong and all the other things, if someone say, okay, I'm gonna step up, let's do this as well.
Yeah.
If we could do that and have really strong-minded people.
Wow.
That wanna have change. That'd be really awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
That's the idea, guys. The
It's the
plastic.
idea.
Oh my goodness. Claudia, this is incredible. We could talk forever. It's almost been it's an hour already.
Oh boy.
And that's how you know we just had that was a wow. It was a very enlightening, conversation of everything from like what we're talking about, the eye-opening things about the island, about the things happening in Kanaha, to all the way to the other countries and how they do it, how they did it. And yeah, Claudia, I want to just thank you again for coming on and sharing.
My pleasure.
And really just sharing. Like just sharing your heart, sharing your experiences with me and our audience. And is there anything you want to, what do you want to leave off with our audience? What would you want to say to them?
Well, I think let's leave fear behind and let's look forward and together build something that's better, that will work for all of us. Yeah, let's be family.
I love that. Something to work for all of us and to be family.
And if anybody knows of a warehouse upcountry that we could occupy, I think we can even pay a little bit of rent. And because we're a non-profit, whoever gives up that space could have a tax deduction. I believe that's how it works. That would really be something if we could achieve that in 2021.
Wow.
Because this is a long-term project.
Yes.
It's not going to be, by the end of this year we pow. I think we just need to have something upcountry for everybody that needs us. No questions asked. Just come, and if you need, you come take. If you don't need something and you have something too much, bring it over there. We can all exchange and help each other. Thank you.
And last thing, where can they find you, Claudia? Where can these people find you?
We are on Facebook under Upcountry Strong. We are on Instagram. And we're hoping to get a website together in the near future with a donate button. Until then, you can buy our beautiful merchandise. Vahelani made us our logo. It's Haleakala Mountain.
Yeah.
And
beautiful.
So we have shirts, we have stickers, we have wristbands. We had trucker hats. They were sold out, but we're going to order again.
Wow.
And we're probably going to come up with something fun for Christmas as well. So anytime you buy a t-shirt, know it's basically paying for a box of food for a family. So you get a nice t-shirt out of it, and we get a family that gets food.
Wow.
Make you feel good.
That's beautiful, Claudia.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Claudia, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And yeah, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Please reach out to her. We'll put all the links below: Instagram, Facebook, Upcountry Strong. And until the next episode, please reach out to her, spread the words, share this episode. See you next week. Thank you, guys.